I am Roxy with Rockstars 3.0, and I am here with Raven Black. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're great.
Awesome.
Cold.
Ooh, cold. It is cold here. We're at the Alrosa Villa in Columbus, and it's a whopping like 40 degrees. Burr. So you guys excited for tonight?
Yes. It's a sold out show, right?
Yes.
Hell yeah. We are very, very pumped up.
It's awesome. There's a story behind Raven Black. Can you elaborate on that story?
A story about the band?
Yeah, the how you got your guys' name, the Doctor and Stitches and Muppet.
Well, we have a comic book, and the story shows you kind of where we came from, each of us, and how we came together. But I guess to sum it up, the Doctor used to be a renowned, surgeon, physician, and he worked for the government. And they made him do, experiments and kind of crazy shit to people. And one patient, Hyde, they did some experimental stuff, and it killed him, and it turned him into a zombie. So with all the lab coats, it kind of made him go mad. So being in his madness, he basically let the zombie escape to try to save his life. So he basically kidnapped him, but the zombie bit him. So that kind of gives reference to vampire, werewolf, and so the Doctor has a duality of good and evil. So he built a lab, and he started creating different experiments trying to cure Dr. Hyde. Patient Hyde. He also made a couple of voodoo assistants named Pippy Patty and Punky. These are his voodoo doll assistants that help him in the lab. And in that essence, he was having nightmares because he's really distraught about his past, his future. In one night, he woke up in the middle of a nightmare, and he heard a little girl crying in the alleyway outside his lab. And it happened to be Raven. And Raven was just crying. So he said, what's wrong? And he said, well, he wants to collect her and experiment with her and make her another voodoo doll. So, of course, in his attempt to cast that spell, her taunting scream disrupts the curse, and it leaves her half human, half doll.
Nice.
So that's where my character comes in. And if you look at my past, you don't learn about it yet until you get to Muppet. So in living with the Doctor, I secretly made friends with all his assistants, Pippy Patty specifically, and she gave me the book of black magic, and I learned it and studied it in my captivity. And I learned out of song, creating chants and spells myself. And what I did is I conjured up a demon named Muppet to come and rescue me and save me from my captivity. And he was a demon, but in his coming into the lab, I recognized his soul. And he happened to be from my past life, the love of my life. And so he didn't devour me and attack me. He recognized me, and then it tells you the story of Muppet. Muppet used to be a warrior, a fighter in the olden days, and he saw his love of his life get burned at the stake as a witch. So that happened to be me. So that was the past life. So it brought us back together as soulmates, and so he's become my forever protector. And him and the Doctor, running the lab, became friends. And the Doctor, Muppet helped the Doctor figure out how to wake up patient Hyde, how to bring him back to life. And that's, again, back to my love of Frankenstein, vintage horror. So patient Hyde became ultimately, with a magic spell from Raven, who she cast the spell and sang a song, created Stitches, and he woke up. And so Muppet and the Doctor had to hold him down because he was crazy. His new life, he's just full of energy, and that became Stitches, and all those things that the Doctor put together, and Muppet Stitches came out, and all he wants to do is play. But he entertains Raven, and Raven loves it. Him and Raven wreak havoc, and all we do is want to play, and we play games, and we play jokes and pranks on people. So that the Doctor basically kept Stitches within us here. I created a magic spell. Another magic spell where I said, well, now that we're all together and I have what I want, I took us to a different hour with one of my spells, the 13th hour. And I said, we're going to build a dark metal carnival so that we can invite all of these people to come to our carnival and be who they are. And they're known as Raven's Rejects.
And the Dark Carnival, yes. That's amazing that you collaborated the comic book with your band. It's truly inspiring.
So that's our story.
That is an amazing story. Thank you for that. So tell me about, you just recently released an album, 13, early spring. So
Yes.
how was the outcome of this album?
Amazing. More than we hoped for. I mean, everyone's really taken it in, received it well, and they love it. They're singing it. They're screaming it at the shows. Now it's very different for us this time around of all the touring we've ever done, because now everybody knows both of our albums. They're singing both from 7 Sands and 13. Yep. So the show is just very more interactive than it ever has been. And then we've been doing VIPs for the last 2 tours. So now our VIP experience, and you're sitting in one now, we're just really getting to know our fans, especially our super fans, on a more personal level, hanging out with them. And so it's been really cool.
It's awesome that you reach out to them. It really is.
Oh, I do more than reach out to them. They won't tell you, though. It's secret.
It's secret. So you guys have been touring a lot lately. How has that been on the road all the time?
How can I say that? It's like bittersweet for me. We love it and we hate it. Is that the best way to describe it, guys? We love it and we hate it.
I'd say it's the greatest experience and the worst experience at the same time.
It's scary, it's anxiety, it's stress, it's tiring, exhausting. But, you know, it's like, I guess the best way I can say it is, when we're on tour, we can't wait to get home. And when we get home, we can't wait to go on tour.
No, that's accurate.
Yeah.
So that'd be the best way I could describe it.
What are some challenges that you guys face? Well,
Highway armed robbery.
oh wow, tell me about that.
Crossbow gun. Oh my.
Let me go to my own defense. So we were targeted and stalked by, I guess, a circuit
Highway
pirates going through Indiana on 64 East, and it's been a problem, I guess. And Muppet was driving, and it was 2, 3 in the morning, and we were kind of like being stalked by 2 trucks that were slowly following us, and they actually pulled off to the side of the road and waited for us to catch up. And I called the sheriffs. And the problem about that area is it's like a 200-mile stretch of nothing with like 2 exits. So I think what they do is they target RVs, buses, vans and stuff like that to highway rob you. But when I was on the phone with the sheriff, I said, she's like, what are they doing? Why do you need somebody to come and help you? And what are they doing? And I said, they're probably going to, I said, rob us. And I couldn't really think of the word at the moment while we're watching these guys try to box us in. So I said, they're like handgun, what did I say?
I think they're going to handgun rob us.
They're going to handgun rob us. I meant to say rob us by gunpoint, but obviously that didn't come out that right. So that's been the joke of the tour so far. But a sheriff did escort us, and then they had a second crew get to the gas station thinking that. So they probably said, they just exited, go there, we'll meet you guys, we'll turn around, meet you guys up, and we'll rob them. Well, most of the time, the sheriffs take 20, 30 minutes to get there because there's only 2. This sheriff happened to be in the area, so he was there within 5 minutes. And he escorted us, met us at the gas station, and the second crew came up, didn't pour gas, didn't go to the store, pulled up, talked to each other for 10 seconds, and took off. So we knew this was like an ongoing operation. So they finally left us alone, but he escorted us to the next county line. But it was terrifying.
I bet, definitely.
So we were talking about having weapons on tour for our safety, and obviously guns you can't carry across state lines. We're looking into rifles, but I mentioned, a bow and arrow gun. So that's where the joke comes from, crossbow.
Whatever works, right?
So now, we're thinking we'll probably end up doing bear mace, wasp mace, or something like that. Something for us to protect ourselves in those kinds of instances.
Oh, wow.
So,
That's scary and intense. Tell me a little bit about your guys' style and your influences, so we can let our listeners know.
I'm gonna let you take this one, Muppet.
We've got a wide variety. Each of us has our own background. But I think for this sound, we've got a lot of In This Moment, Rob Zombie, Manson, System of a Down. I would say would be our biggest influences. Ulrich Wilde, definitely, with his discography, was a huge influence as well. And it was really unique seeing it come together with working with someone that we all idolize a lot of the music that he worked with, but to not only have that, but also bring out the creepy and dark, like Carnival in our music
essence,
as well.
yeah.
But it definitely a huge list from all of us. It's so much good music out there.
Yeah, definitely, there is. Definitely. Can you guys tell us what you would say to upcoming and new artists?
Don't be a douchebag.
That's great advice. That really is.
Pretty much sums it up. Don't be a douchebag when you're touring. Don't be a douchebag when you're setting up. Don't be a douchebag when you're loading in. Don't be a douchebag when you're parking. Don't be a douchebag to fans. Don't be a douchebag at the merch. Just don't be a douchebag.
Well, we'll call it more like
Actually,
stay
might
humble.
get a chance.
Stay humble, yeah.
Things are looking good for whoever. Just stay humble.
Yeah, stay humble. Don't be a douchebag. Just be real, and nobody is any more of a rock star than anyone else. You're playing music. That's what you do. That's it.
Yep, definitely. Do you guys have any plans for 2019?
We have a lot of big plans in 2019 that
Yeah?
we're not allowed to talk about.
Not allowed?
But we can tell you we're going to be doing some big tours
Yeah.
starting in spring.
Awesome.
We are not going to release a new album in 2019 yet. We're going to leave it to 2020.
Okay.
We're going to continue to, push 13 and 7 Sins, of course, to new fans. So we are going to be doing some big support tours, probably 2 or 3 of them in 2019, so that we can build our fan base and grow Raven's Rejects.
Nice. And then this one's a question out of personal curiosity. Do you guys have a song in particular that you guys embrace as a band? That means a lot to you.
That's very interesting. I think honestly we don't, because we haven't thought about it that way. That's just coming from me, from what my perspective is. I don't know about you guys. But we
It's
will
kind of like everything fuels it. The music fuels the story, and vice versa. And it's hard to pick a single song that would be like, I guess, encompass all that. Because, like I said, because the story progresses and the music progresses, it's kind of like a full picture type of thing.
I can see that with you guys. Yeah, you definitely have a lot of story to tell behind your music. You really do.
My answer would be is there's not one song, because everything I write, because I write the lyrics, is written for the fans, and it's from my perspective. But when I write, it's always leaves that big door for them to personalize what my experience is, and them being able to relate to what I'm feeling and make it their own. So for me, I write for the fans.
Beautiful, yeah. I like that.
So it's not just for me.
That's awesome. I can dig it.
That's my answer anyway.
All right. Well, I definitely appreciate your guys' time tonight. I'm ready to hear you guys rock out.
It's going to be your first time.
No, not at all.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, this is Roxy with Rockstars Glued, and this is Raven Black.
Thank you.